We in the building. We in the building. We make sure we good. Good. Let me make sure we good. Good. What it do, y'all? Welcome to Late Night Boxing Talk with your host, King David, in the motherfucking building, man. And you want the realest motherfucking boxing channel there is, Box or Die. You know what I'm saying? If you haven't, make sure you subscribe to the motherfucking channel. All right? Make sure you like the video. Make sure you do all that good shit so we can continue to grow, so we can continue to do what we've been doing, so we can continue to cook these bitch ass niggas, man. You know what time it is, man. You know what time it is. Let me see if anybody in the building tonight, man, before we go ahead and get started. Let me see if anybody in the building, you know what I mean? I don't see nothing in the chat. But we gonna continue to cook, man. You know what time it is, man. So yes, sir. Welcome to motherfucking Late Night Boxing Talk. I know a lot of you niggas right now are snuggled up, you know what I'm saying? I know a lot of you niggas are in your bed right now, and it's all good, man. It's about that hour. It's about that hour. You know what I mean? But while some niggas sleep, while some niggas club, while some niggas hang out, while some niggas do this and some niggas do that, we talk boxing, man. So that's what time it is today, man. And you see what the title is. You see what the title of the video is, man. Episode 4, Duck Language. We got a real good live stream in tune for you today, man. It's gonna be some real debatable topics, you know what I'm saying? It might get heated, you know what I mean? Because I'm sure I might have a few people jump up in the comment section with some wild ass shit. Just considering the topic, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, we here. Nevertheless, we're gonna continue to talk the shit that we've been talking. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing gonna stop the train from rolling. So we gonna do the damn thing, man. And you see what the motherfucking title of the video is: Duck Language. So let us proceed to give you what the hell you goddamn need, man, because boxing is crazy right now, and a lot of shit needs to be addressed. So let's address it, goddamn. Let's address it, goddamn. So yes, title of the live stream is Duck Language. But before we go ahead and we get busy, you already know how we do. You know how this shit go now. This is the 4th Late Night Boxing Talk. We always got to set the table. We always got to set the stage. You know what I'm saying? We got to set the mood. We got to set the tone for how this shit is going to go exactly. You know what I mean? We have to do that. We have to. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to make sure that there's perspective going into what we're talking about here. We got to make sure. You know what I'm saying? We got to make sure that the table is set. We got to make sure we got all our knives. We want to make sure we got all our forks. We want to make sure, you know what I'm saying? We want to make sure that we're prepped and ready to go. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get it in, man. Let's get it in, man. So duck language is the topic. So what we're going to be discussing tonight, man, is we're going to be talking about pretty much the things that a lot of fighters say in order to avoid fights. You know what I'm saying? And this video, this live isn't necessary to shame anybody in particular, but we need to make it known out there in the highways and the byways when people start talking like this, when you start hearing people say certain shit, that's really code for I don't want to fight this motherfucker. I don't want to fight this motherfucker. And y'all trying to make me, but I don't want to. I don't want to fight this motherfucker because I feel like I'm gonna lose. That's really what it means. That's really what it means. Sometimes people might try to spin it. They might try to say, I don't want to fight this motherfucker because I'm not gonna get paid enough. Some people try to say, I don't want to fight this motherfucker because of this. I don't want to fight this motherfucker because of that. But at the end of the day, if you were sure you were going to win, that you were going to kick some ass, it wouldn't be a problem. You know what I'm saying? There wouldn't be any issues with you fighting anyone if you knew you were going to win. You would fight a bitch for $1 if you knew you was going to win. But if you feel like you might get your ass kicked, then maybe you might need $10 million or $20 million or even $40 million, depending on how severe the ass whooping. So that's what we own tonight. That's what we own tonight. You know, there was a saying back in the day. Where motherfuckers used to say, would you fight Mike Tyson for $1 million? $1 million was a lot of money back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of money back in those days. You know what I'm saying? But there was a saying where people would say, would you fight Mike Tyson for $1 million? Or would you get punched for $1 million from Mike Tyson? And you would have a lot of people that would, I don't know. And you would have a lot of people that would jump at it. Yeah, I would fight Mike Tyson for $10 million. Now, they know they're not going to win. Or $1 million. They know they're not going to win, but $1 million was enough for them to feel comfortable with their life, for them to feel good about the situation that transpired. You know what I'm saying? So that's that. Let that set the stage for what the fuck we really dealing with out here. Let that set the stage for what the fuck we really dealing with out here. Bitches need $1 million, which back in the day translate now maybe to like 10 million, $20 million for a fight that they know they're probably going to lose. If I know I'm going to lose a fight, I need more money. If I know I'm going to get my ass whooped, I need more money. It's never enough money needed if I feel like I'm going to get my ass whooped. There's never enough money if I feel like I'm going to get my ass whooped. So let's go ahead and dive into the topic, duck language. We're going to talk about some of the things that these dudes say when they're trying to duck, when they're trying to avoid taking ass whooping. That's really what the fuck it is. You know what I'm saying? That's really what the fuck it is. So let's get into it, man. So the first on the docket, okay? The first on the docket. And of course, while I talk about these different things that they say, I'm going to explain why it's duck language. You know what I'm saying? But let's jump into it. So the first very popular duck phrase is call my promoter. So here's the thing. If a fighter, if you're asked specifically about a fight, you're a fighter, okay? And you're asked about a fight. You're asked about your willingness to fight this person. You're sent an offer, okay? Now, I'm fully aware that promoters handle a lot of the business part of the actual fight, okay? They promote the events. They set the stage. They put the cards together. I'm fully aware of that, okay? But if you're sent an offer, if you're made a verbal offer about a fight and your first response is call my promoter, that's duck language. That is duck language, period. It's duck language. Why? Because no one's asking you about the particulars of getting the fight done. You're merely sent an offer, or you're merely presented with an opportunity to fight someone. So if I present you with an opportunity and you know you need this person in order to complete the transaction, you're going to receive the opportunity and then take it over to this person in order to complete the transaction. But if you don't want the opportunity, if the opportunity isn't something that you're interested in, well, instead of you saying you don't want it, you're going to have that person defer that opportunity to someone who can say no for you. Duck language. Duck language. I don't want to say no, so call my promoter so he can say no for me. That's what the fuck that means. I don't want to say no, but call my promoter so he can say no for me. Duck language. Bitch, I'm asking you. I'm giving you the offer. You're the fighter. I'm giving you the offer. What do you say about the offer? How do you feel about the offer? Well, my promoters needed to complete this transaction. My promoter needs to look over the paperwork, but I will take the offer back to my promoter and we will see to get this done. Boom. But simply deflecting and throwing the offer over to your promoter in order to give the news that you yourself don't want to give because out of fear of looking bad, that is duck language, period. And we've seen this time and time again. Fighters asked about particular fights and telling people that they want their promoter to be contacted. They want their promoter to be called about the offer. Sure, the promoter is supposed to be involved. Sure, the promoter / manager is an intricate part of getting the fight done. But when someone's inquiring about your interest in the fight or someone sending you an offer, anyone interested in the offer wouldn't simply skirt the offer off to their promoter, period. It's duck language to me. It's duck language. All right. Duck language tactic number 2. Duck language tactic number 2. Public negotiations, public offers. Okay, so look. All right. Actually, instead of me saying public offers, let's change that to public negotiations. Public negotiations. Because it's one thing to make an offer or send an offer. Okay. It's another thing to try to negotiate with someone publicly. It's a one thing to make an offer publicly. I want to fight you. I want to fight you. That's an offer. We can fight in June. That's an offer. But it's another thing to try to negotiate the terms of that fight in public. Case in point, Errol Spence Terence Crawford. Errol Spence told the entire public that the only way he would fight Terence Crawford is if there was a 60-40 split that was done. Okay. Now, if there was an offer sent to Terence Crawford with a 60-40 split on it, okay, he reviewed that offer and he sent it back and there was a negotiation that took place behind closed doors, that would be an entirely different matter. That would be an entirely different matter. But when an offer is sent behind closed, when an offer is made public as far as a negotiation is concerned, meaning I'm looking to assert my leverage on you, meaning I'm looking to get something at a bargain. I'm making that public. I'm making that public knowledge that I'm trying to assert leverage on you. Meaning 60-40 or no fight, meaning 90-10 or no fight, meaning I offered you $10 million, no fight, meaning you're coming up with these You're trying to negotiate via the public. Duck language. Duck language. That's not how negotiations are done. That is not how negotiations are done. If I wanted to buy your house and I made an offer on your house and I told everybody on your block that I was making an offer under what you were selling it for, how likely do you feel like that deal would actually go through? How likely do you feel like that deal would actually go through? Because the fact of the matter is, no one is going to want to publicly advertise the fact that they're accepting something lower than what their perceived value is. So even if I was desperate enough to take you up on your 40% offer or 30% offer or whatever, quote Earl Spence, even if I was desperate enough to take you up on that offer, why would I publicly accept that offer and then diminish my value as a commodity? Why would I do that? The next negotiation that takes place, I may have to take 70, 60, 40, 70, 30, or whatever as well. Maybe this time it might be worse. 70, 30, 80, 20, or 90, 10. It might go a step worse than what we know it to be. So why, oh why, would I publicly accept something that I know, publicly accept something that's lower than what my perceived value is? And perceived can be my perception. Perceived can also be the public's perception. If the public believes my house is worth 300,000 and I sell it for 250,000, and everybody knows that I'm not that I sold my house for 250, because that's different, that I'm selling my house for 250, that diminishes my value. That lowers my stock as a commodity, period. So public negotiations are duck language. And here's the thing. These fighters know that there's no, that trying to negotiate via public is a dead man's game. These fighters know that there's no hope in trying to negotiate via public. These dudes know what the fuck is going on when it comes to that. These dudes know that you can't make a fight that way. So I consider that duck language. Let's move on. Let's quote the great Jermall Charlo and quote what his stipulations were for making a fight. A corona vaccine under 25. Duck language. Duck language. Why does it matter what someone's age is? And I don't know if Jermall Charlo was drunk. I don't know if he was high when he said that. I don't know what Jermall Charlo's issue was when he let that bull ass shit come out of his mouth. Why the fuck does it matter how old somebody is as long as they over the age of 18? Why does it matter how old someone is that you're going to be fighting them? Why does it matter if they get a corona vaccine as long as they don't have the coronavirus? What the fuck does that even have to do with anything that has to do with a fight? Duck language. Now, in Jermall's particular case, I wouldn't say that Jermall is ducking David Benavidez. I wouldn't say that he's ducking because he's not a 168 pounder. If he moved up to 168 and then started spouting off all this bullshit and then started fighting everybody other than David Benavidez, that would be a duck to me. But Jermall does have a legitimate excuse with the fact that, well, legitimate reasoning with the fact that he's a 160 pounder and he's campaigning at 160. He shouldn't have opened his mouth talking about he was willing to fight this person at 68 and that person at 68 if he wasn't willing to campaign at 68. He put himself in this situation. However, I'm not going to consider that a duck, but saying that someone needs to be under 25 and somebody needs to have a corona vaccine is duck language, period. It's duck language, period. No reason for you to request that as a stipulation for a fight to happen. Duck language. Why do I need to know? Why does any of those things need to happen? Or why do any of those things matter when it comes to making a fight? Duck language. That's one of the more blatant examples of duck language. But I feel like this live is very much needed. This live is very much needed. We need to discuss what duck language is. We really need to put things in perspective as far as identifying duck language when we fucking see it. Because a lot of these dudes are using duck language and we let it slide on by. But at the end of the day, it's duck language. It's duck language. Okay? The other side of the street. The other side of the street. Duck language. It's duck language. Why the fuck? The other side of the street. Look, at the end of the day, Top Rank, Golden Boy, Matchroom, all these different promotional companies, when the fighters want to fight each other, the promoters will make the fights happen. All it takes is for the fighters to want to fight each other. It's been proven over and over and over and over and over and over again. We've seen Mayweather versus Pacquiao, two different promotional entities come together, create a fight. We've seen it so many different times with these different fights happen with different promotional entities. The fighters need to want to fight each other first and foremost. So when a fighter is talking about the other side of the street, it's duck language. Pure, unadulterated, stone cold duck language. That's all it is. That's all it can be. Duck language. That's all it is. That's all it can be. Let's see if anybody in the comment section. Nobody in the comment section. We're going to continue to cook. Nobody saying shit. We're going to continue to cook. Goddamn. We need to make it very clear as far as what duck language looks like. Duck language, it's been skirting by us these past weeks with these dudes saying these little things here and there where at the end of the day, it's duck language. We know what it is. We see what it is. Duck language. Okay? Here's a really good one. Here's a really good one that a lot of the Canelo fans are going to love. His style is boring. Duck language. Duck language, man. His style is boring. So you trying to be entertained in the fight? Is that what's happening? You looking to be entertained? Or you looking to win? Which one you looking to do? Because I wouldn't give a fuck whether somebody's style was boring or entertaining if I knew I could whoop their ass. If I knew I could beat the fuck out of somebody, I wouldn't give a fuck whether it was boring or entertaining. So if somebody's calling somebody's style boring, it's duck language. It's duck language. We seen a lot of fighters use the style is boring excuse. Triple G, Canelo, okay? His style is boring. Duck language. Duck language. Style is boring. Big drama show. Duck language. What? If I can whoop somebody's ass, I don't give a fuck whether your style is boring, entertaining. I don't give a fuck whether you doing backflips in the ring. If I can whoop your ass, I don't care. But if I feel like I might get my ass whooped, boring. It's boring. Dudes, that's a boring style. Boring. Yeah, don't nobody want to see that. It's boring. You know what I'm saying? That's what dudes who feel like they're gonna get their ass whooped say. Duck language. You know what I'm saying? This vibe is very much needed, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's very much needed, man. It's gonna piss